Good morning. Good morning. I don't think that was on, was it? I don't think so. Good morning. If you could find a seat, we're going to get started. Thank you to the New Berlin Hopner Horn Brothers, VFW, Post 5716, for opening our program. They continue to represent our community and our veterans with pride in all that they do. The Pledge of Allegiance will be presented by students representing each of our district schools. Annalise Deschamps from Elmwood, Colin O'Donnell from Orchard Lane, Owen Fitchow from Poplar Creek, Jaden Wong from Ronald Reagan, Everly Venn from New Berlin Eisenhower, and Ethan Helt from New Berlin West. Please come to the stage. You may be seated. Thank you, students. At this time in our program, it is my privilege and honor to introduce the Mayor of New Berlin, Dave Ament, who will provide the City of New Berlin's proclamation for our Veterans Day program this morning. Dave is now serving his fourth term as Mayor of New Berlin. He was first elected mayor on April 2nd, 2013, after serving the citizens of New Berlin as the 7th District Alderman for 12 years, from 2001 to 2013. The mayor was then re-elected in April of 2017, 2021, and now 2025 for his fourth term. Before being elected mayor in 2013, he owned and operated his own business, Ament Industrial Truck, for 33 years. Dave has been a resident of New Berlin for over 70 years and has been married to his wife, Peggy, for over 56 years and counting. They have 3 grown children, Beth, Sherry, and Matt. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Ament.
Superintendent Garza, Principal Mark Otto, New Berlin School Board, and the school staff from all the schools, thank you for inviting me to join you and our students in honoring our military veterans today. At the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, the armistice was signed and ended the terrible worldwide conflict has been gone down in history as the First World War. In 1954, the name Armistice Day was changed to Veterans Day in honor of all of the men and women throughout our history who have so bravely served and defended the freedoms and liberties that we enjoy every day in this great country, and far too often we take for granted. We thank them and their families for their sacrifices and upholding the common values which this nation stands for. We honor those who served. We give thanks to all the men and women who put on the uniforms of our armed services. We honor those who have come home battered and broken, and pay homage to those who never came home at all. So let us thank them by remembering their service, honoring their sacrifice, and paying our respect to all who have served every day, not just on Veterans Day. On behalf of the Common Council of the City of New Berlin and the citizens of New Berlin, I would like to read this official proclamation in honor of our veterans. And it reads, "Whereas we join together on this Veterans Day to honor the men and women who selflessly serve, protect, and defend our country. And whereas we take this day to commemorate and celebrate the brave, loyal, and selfless American men and women of the armed forces and their families for giving us the opportunity to live freely in this, our great country. And whereas our citizens consider military service to be the ultimate patriotic duty, whether said service is an active duty or ready reserve capacity. And whereas we wish to further express our deep gratitude to all the past and present services of our veterans, as well as the continuing work of the American Legion and the veterans of foreign wars. And whereas Ronald Reagan once said, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. Now, therefore, I do hereby urge all citizens, particularly our students that are here today, to respect the blessings of those hard-fought freedoms and to join me in this Veterans Day program in extending our heartfelt appreciation to our servicemen and women for their willingness to serve and sacrifice for those freedoms. May our students here today grow into adults worthy of their sacrifice with a willingness to carry on their strong sense of duty. In witness thereof, I do hereby set my hand and cause the corporate seal of the City of New Berlin to be fixed this 11th day of November 2025, and it is signed by myself. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing the proclamation with us today, Mayor. At this time, sit back and enjoy the presentation of The Patriot by our New Berlin West Chamber Orchestra under the direction of Stephanie Keller. Thank you, Ms. Keller, and thank you to the orchestra. Good morning, everyone, and officially welcome to our Veterans Day program. My name is Mark Otto, and I'm proud to serve here as the principal at New Berlin West. We begin today by offering our warmest welcome to the veterans in our audience. We are humbled by your presence and grateful for your service. Your courage, your sacrifice, and your commitment to protecting our freedoms are why we gather here each year. Veterans Day is our opportunity, as schools and as a community, to pause and reflect on the incredible debt of gratitude that we owe to you. We also extend a warm welcome to our community members and guests who have joined us today. Your support and participation help us make this event more than just a school program. It becomes a true community tribute to the men and women who have served our country. Finally, I want to welcome the 8th grade students from both New Berlin Eisenhower and New Berlin West. Today is an important chance for you to learn more about what Veterans Day means, to hear stories of service and sacrifice, and to better understand why we, as Americans, pause every November to honor those who have worn our nation's uniform. Veterans Day is not just about history, it is about values. It's about honoring the bravery of those who served in times of war and peace, recognizing the families who supported them, and remembering that the freedoms that we enjoy every day were earned through the dedication of others. By celebrating Veterans Day together, we make sure that their service is never taken for granted and never forgotten. And to the students, as you listen today, I encourage you to think about what service means to you. Service can take many forms: serving your family, your school, your community, or someday, perhaps, your country. Veterans Day reminds us that each of us has a role to play in making our communities and our nation stronger. I would also like to recognize the representatives from each of the different branches of the armed forces that we have on stage with us today. United States Army National Guard, Sergeant Jacob Rosen. United States Coast Guard Retired Petty Officer Gordon Kelly. From the United States Marines, Staff Sergeant Michael Harshberger. And from the United States Navy Logistics Specialist, 2nd Class Griffin Jones. We will hear more from those service members later in our program, and we hope that today's program inspires gratitude, reflection, and respect for all who have served and continue to serve. Thank you for being here with us to honor our veterans. At this time, please welcome to the stage New Berlin West senior Jackson Susek. Jackson will speak to What is the Star-Spangled Banner? Directly thereafter, we will hear the Star-Spangled Banner. Please welcome Jackson.
Good morning. Today, as we gather to honor the men and women who have served our country, I want to reflect on something that often opens our ceremonies, something so familiar that we often forget to truly listen: the Star-Spangled Banner. We all know the melody. Everyone stands up and places their hands over their hearts and faces the flag, but do we ever truly think about what the words mean or where they came from? It started in 1814 during the War of 1812. A young lawyer named Francis Scott Key watched from a ship as British troops attacked Fort McHenry through a long and terrible night. When morning came around, through the smoke and destruction, the American flag was still flying, ragged but unbroken. Key was so moved by the sight, he wrote it down along with how it made him feel, which is how we got our national anthem today. These words, "the land of the free and the home of the brave," were not written to brag, but as a prayer or hope that this new fighting nation, tested by war, would persevere. Today, more than 2 centuries later, it still does, because of the courage and sacrifice of our veterans. Each time we sing the anthem, we're not just honoring the flag, but the beautiful people and country that it flies for. The Star-Spangled Banner reminds us that freedom is not guaranteed. It has to be fought for, protected, and cherished. So the next time you stand for the song, whether it's at a sporting event or over the loudspeakers at school, take some time to remember the amazing sight Francis Scott Key got to see on that morning. Remember the veterans who kept that flag flying, and most importantly, remember what the flag stands for: hope, unity, and the enduring strength of the United States of America. Thank you and happy Veterans Day.
Thank you, Jackson. Please join me in welcoming the New Berlin West Chamber Singers under the direction of Miss Sarah Lemon for the Star Spangled Banner. Please stand for our anthem.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Ms. Lemon. Please be seated. And thank you, Chamber Singers. We will continue to pause and reflect on the courage of those who gave their lives in defense of freedom. One of the most timeless tributes to their memory is the poem In Flanders Fields, written during World War I by Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae. Its words remind us of both the great cost of war and the enduring duty we share to carry forward the cause of liberty. At this time, our choir will present Flanders Fields in song. May this performance deepen our gratitude and inspire us to always remember the men and women who served and those who made the ultimate sacrifice.
Flanders field of poppies, Bobadina's roses grow on, so that mark our place, and in the sky the larks so bravely sing. Flanders fields of poppies grow on, and in the sky the larks so bravely sing. Flanders fields of roses grow on, and in the sky the larks so bravely sing. That mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing. Flanders, roses grow on in the
Thank you, choir, and thank you, Ms. Lemon. Please welcome retired Marine veteran and longtime New Berlin resident, Paul Peterson, who will present a toast to the flag.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow veterans, but most of all, you students who are the future of this nation of ours. Whenever you hear the national anthem, or you say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, you should always remember that this is the greatest flag that has ever flown over land or sea. Here's to the red of it. There is not a thread of it, no, not a shred of it, and all the spread of it from foot to head. But heroes bled for it, faced steel and lead for it, shed precious blood for it, bathing it red. Here's to the white of it, thrilled by the sight of it. Who knows the right of it, but feels the might of it through day and night. Womanhood cared for it, made manhood dare for it. Puritans' prayers for it, keeps it so white. Here's to the blue of it, beauteous view of it, heavenly hue of it, star-spangled dew of it, constant and true. Diadems gleam for it, states stand supreme for it. Liberty brightens its blue. Here's to the whole of it, stars, stripes, and pole of it, body and soul of it, on the roll of the sun shining through. Hearts in accord for it, swear by the sword for it, thanking the Lord for it, the red, white, and blue.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. We now have the opportunity to hear from our military guests with a brief overview of what each branch does to keep the United States of America safe and free. We'll start today with United States Army National Guard. Please welcome Sergeant Jacob Rosen.
Thank you for the introduction, Mr. Otto. I really wish I had the opportunity not to follow Mr. Peterson on that warm introduction of our flag. It's going to be tough. But before I start, I want to thank the men and women in this room that served before me. We all know freedom is not free, and without you all leading the way, I may not be here today in order to carry on what was presented before me. So my name is Staff Sergeant Jacob Rosen. I'm a recruiter and career retention NCO with the Wisconsin Army National Guard. My branch specifically, we are a subcomponent of the active duty, serving primarily in the state of Wisconsin. Now what that means is if there were any natural disasters to occur, if there were riots to be upheld, if there were instances such as back when COVID happened, we assist those in our state. We assist those in the healthcare field with COVID testing, right? We made sure the people in our communities, when the riots were occurring, were safe. My branch of service, what we tell people, it is a part-time commitment for full-time benefits, okay? So what that means is, starting as young as your junior year in high school at 17 years old, you are able to sign up to do 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks in the summer. Give or take 40 to 50 days a year, you are able to serve this great nation in your community, and we offer to pay for your college tuition 100% up to a master's degree, give you a monthly paycheck, and afford you other opportunities, not necessarily so you can excel to the end goal that you are trying to achieve, but so you can get there with the financial freedom and the ability to still serve you community and country. A little bit of background on me. I joined when I was 21 after going to school at UW-Whitewater, Wisconsin. I joined in the field artillery. So my job is to use fire direction control systems to shoot cannon, rocket, and artillery. I'm what some of you retired veterans would call a chaser. So even though I was not required to serve overseas, I chased 3 combat tours. I went to 2 different parts of Afghanistan. I went to Djibouti and Somalia, and I also did some more time in Afghanistan. I volunteered to assist our community then in the COVID response mission and the Kenosha riots. I was able to fulfill my need of service while still going full-time to college, still being able to see my family and friends. So the biggest benefit of the organization that we have to offer is, again, you can get that sense of fulfillment serving your country and community while still going after the dream you achieve. Maybe it's being a firefighter, a police officer, a nurse, right? For 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks in the summer, you can fulfill that void in you to serve while still chasing your dreams you had growing up. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next, we welcome United States Coast Guard. Please welcome retired Petty Officer Gordon Kelly.
The United States Coast Guard is the oldest continuing branch of the military, having been formed in 1790 as a revenue cutter service. The Coast Guard was part of the Treasury Department. That's what the shield on our uniform means, that we were part of the Treasury Department, because our initial responsibilities were the stopping of piracy and the collecting of taxes for the fledgling federal government. In 1919, after the sinking of the Titanic, the Revenue Cutter Service was assigned to watch icebergs and mark them for the safety of ships, which meant that it needed more personnel. After World War I, where the Revenue Cutter Service lost the greatest percentage, not the greatest number, but the greatest percentage of personnel in all of the 5 branches of the military due to their anti-submarine service. The Revenue Cutter Service needed more personnel. And so in the 1920s, the Revenue Cutter Service, the U.S. Life Saving Service, the U.S. Lighthouse Service, and the Steamboat Inspection Service were combined into what is now called the United States Coast Guard. It has served in every theater of war since the War of 1812 and the first maritime battles between the Royal Navy and representatives of the United States were done with the Revenue Cutter Service and their revenue cutters until the Navy was reestablished. It is a multi-purpose organization. First, we are the smallest, but we are the 5th branch of the military, having again served in every war since the War of 1812. It is a law enforcement agency. We enforce maritime law, international law, and we are involved in the drug war and the stopping of illegal immigrants by sea. We are a service organization. We service all and maintain all of the aids to navigation, both on the Great Lakes, on our seacoast ports, throughout our entire country and our possessions. And we're also involved in icebreaking service, particularly in the Antarctic, where we keep a shipping lane open for the other branches of the military that have installations in the Antarctic. Our primary purpose is the saving of lives and property. And when a young man or young woman goes into the United States Coast Guard today, as they were taught in the Revenue Cutter Service, the Life-Saving Service. There's one thing that's instilled in their mind today. From the time you get to Cape May, New Jersey, until you leave, and you are always have this on your mind. For you, and for you, and for you, and for all of you, we have to go out. We are a life-saving service. We do not have to come back in. Thank you.
Thank you again, Petty Officer. Up next, please welcome United States Marines, Staff Sergeant Michael Harshberger.
All right, good morning, everybody. Again, I'm Staff Sergeant Harshberger. I am the local Marine Corps recruiter for New Berlin West. However, aside from that, the things I want to talk about with the Marine Corps, right? As Petty Officer has said it, and as Staff Sergeant Rosen has said it, we are a branch that defends everybody. The difference is we are all the branches. We do land, air, and sea, and we're the most elite. The Marines are always going to be the first ones to go out there and defend this country. We go out there to make sure everything is taken care of, so we don't have to worry about the effects back home. Along with that, while we have active duty, we have similar routes like the Air and Army National Guard of Reserves. We have the reservists. They also do the humanitarian efforts and do assist us in the active duty side, just to make sure that everybody can still come home at the end of the day and still see their family. We are a family branch at heart. I don't know if y'all heard it when we came up here. I said happy birthday to the Marine veteran, because our birthday was just yesterday. 250 years of service that the Marine Corps has done. We're going to continue to keep going for the rest of our lives. It is very important to us, as we take these days, day in and day out, to always remember each other and do everything we can to support everybody here, the students, the families, the veterans. Obviously, I'm in a part now, I'm younger, I'm in it, but these guys before us came through and stood on the ground to defend the country that we have, so I can come through and uphold the same legacy that they had going forward. With that, the Marines will always be the ones that are wanted. We are not a needed branch in the armed service. We are a wanted branch. America wants the Marines. We stand above the rest. We do our best, we'll put our best foot forward, and we are the most elite. There is nothing that will stop a Marine from defending his brother, sister, family, or this country. We will put our best foot forward, we will do everything we can to make sure everybody is safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Our final military representative is from the United States Navy. Please welcome Logistics Specialist 2nd Class Griffin Jones.
All right, good morning. First, I want to say thank you to all the veterans that are out there and to everyone on the stage for showing up with me or inviting us all out here to talk about the military. The Navy is a very unique branch, but we do a lot of the same as everybody else, right? We have the SEALs that are going to go over and do what the Army and the Marine Corps does. We have the Navy at its whole that does a little bit of what the Coast Guard does and more. We go out and defend the seas and shipping ports all around the nation so that everything runs smoothly. Back in 2019, there was a lot of oil tankers that were being hijacked by pirates, and we went out and made sure that those oil tankers were safe, whether it was for America or the rest of the world as well. We also have the construction battalions, the Seabees, and a New Berlin West High School senior is getting ready to join those Seabees whenever he graduates, Mr. Phelps. We can do everything and specialize in most things. But at Soul, we always are out to sea, living at sea, fighting at sea. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Please join me in giving one more round of applause for our military representatives. At this time, I would like to welcome Kyle Fletcher, along with the New Berlin West Concert Band, to the stage. They will perform the United States Armed Forces Salute. This medley is a testament to the defenders of freedom and liberty, past and present. Veterans, when you hear your branch's theme song, please stand up. Thank you, Mr. Fletcher. Allow me to introduce Eli Scher, a senior from New Berlin Eisenhower, who will share his thoughts about what is TAPS.
Good morning. My name is Eli Shar, and I'm a senior at New Berlin Eisenhower. I play the clarinet, so I unfortunately will not be the one playing taps today, but I will still be able to speak to you all about the tradition of taps. Taps is a bugle call, a short melody played on a bugle horn or a trumpet. In the military, it signals lights out at the end of the day and is also a crucial part of memorial ceremonies. Most importantly, taps is a time of reflection and remembrance to honor those who have given their lives serving the United States of America. Taps was played the first time over a century ago in 1862 during the Civil War. It is believed that General Daniel Butterfield wrote the call while his brigade was positioned in the Confederate territory following the 7 Days Battle. The melody was first played by Oliver Norton, who recalled General Butterfield showing him notes on a musical staff that were written in pencil on the back of an envelope. Norton was instructed to play this melody instead of the old call named Lights Out, and from then on, it was history. Taps was quickly adopted as the new Lights Out call across both the Union and Confederate armies. Then in 1891, taps became standard across the entire military. Today, taps concludes all military funerals. Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia, near Washington, D.C., is the most widely known for these ceremonies, but taps is played around the country at nearly 200 national cemeteries, and even at cemeteries in other parts of the world. On military bases, taps is played at any time between 9 and 11 p.m. to signify lights out. While the horn sounds, service members salute if they're in uniform or stand at attention instead, honoring those who have served. Last summer, I had the privilege of traveling to Washington, D.C. on a mission trip with my church's youth group. We walked along the Capitol Mall and visited the Lincoln, Vietnam, World War II, and other memorials. However, I was most struck by the words at the Korean War Memorial. The inscription on the stone read, "Our nation honors her sons and daughters who answered the call to defend a country that they never knew and a people they never met." In essence, this is also what TAPS is about. Just as our veterans took the call to protect people they had never met, TAPS is our call to honor those who defended our country, whether we met them or not. So students, I want you to remember to be kind and respectful to everyone, whether they're your best friend or a stranger walking past you on the street. And veterans, I know I probably won't get a chance to speak to each one of you, so I'd like to take a moment now. Thank you, each and every one of you, for what you have done to protect and serve this country, so students like me can go through our lives knowing that we are safe. Thank you.
At this time, please join me in a moment of silence to remember our veterans, alive and deceased, who served our country and lived in support of the freedoms we know. Thank you to our New Berlin West Band member Keely Gertz for her participation in our program today. As we near the end of our program, let us remember the reason we are here. My hope for the students in attendance is that they have gained a further understanding and recognition of the service and the important role of our veterans and have provided them the important role that our veterans have provided to our country. My hope for our veterans is that they know they are valued for their service and efforts to maintain the freedom we so deeply value as a community and country. As you move forward with school and life, please remember the people that have gone before you to allow you the opportunities you presently have. Make decisions and live in a way to honor those people who have provided you with these opportunities. Thank you to those people who played a role in developing and participating in the program today. These people are listed on the back of your program for reference. Please join me in a round of applause for all of the people that helped. Just a few notes before we dismiss. So as we close, students are expected to return to their scheduled classes, while veterans and guests are invited to attend an honorary brunch in our Performing Arts Center lobby, which is just outside of these doors. To start, we're going to dismiss the students from New Berlin Eisenhower at the direction of their teachers and Mr. Buckley so they can exit and dismiss. Thank you once again to all our veterans in attendance.